rather concerning story coming in from Rajasthan. After two more students died by suicide yesterday in Rajasthan's Kota, the coaching institute hub, the total suicides this year have gone up to 23. And considering all of this, the district administration has announced certain measures to control this. The district administration has called an emergency meeting of the Kota coaching operators and hostel owners. Many officers, including the district collector and the SP, were also present in the meeting. And a state-level committee has been formed, which will reach Kota on the 2nd of September to study and to find out what's really going on there. And the committee will investigate under the chairmanship of the Principal Secretary, Higher Education. Now, in other steps that have been announced, there will be no tests in coaching institutes for 2 months, considering these rising suicides. Along with this, studies will be done in coaching centers only half the time, after which there will be entertainment classes for students for recreation. My colleague Harsha Kumari Singh gets us more details of the steps being taken.
Well, yes, the collector in fact has called an emergency meeting. He's asked for, the SP was also there at the meeting, and we heard the SP say that they're going to try and have a separate police station for students, firstly. Secondly, all hostel owners, people who run PGs have been called there. Even, the coaching institutes have been given instructions, which we'd already reported earlier, that there will be no tests for 2 months. And also the time of teaching is going to be reduced. So you will have to do only half the session in the day, and after that they're going to have a entertainment class, a manoranjan class, which they call, which is going to help them to relax the the students in certain ways. What exactly that class will be, we don't know. But I must say that I was talking to a psychologist just earlier this morning, because we've been filing stories and reports on this. And he said something very interesting. Dr. Bharat Shekhawat, he's the additional principal at the Kota Medical College, the head of the psychiatry department. And he said, for years, for 20 years, we've been saying that these things need to be done. The other big problem that he pointed out is that students go to Kota when they are 15, 16, 17 years old. So what the coaching institute suggests to the parents is that you take a child out of school, you put him into a dummy school. So he does his CBSE or his 10th or 12th from that dummy school, but actually what he does is he attends coaching. Now what does that do to the child? It takes the child away from the school environment, where there are friends, where there are games, there's co-curricular activities, and it puts this very young child, immature, unable to handle the pressure, into a very rigorous system which is just designed to push you towards achievement and success. Now obviously what happens to that child is, he's isolated, he doesn't have friends, the numbers are very large, he can't play games, there are no co-curricular activities, all he does is study for an entrance exam. And that starts creating a pressure on his mind. So, the doctor suggested something which I found very interesting. He said there should be a minimum age for coaching. Children should first finish school and only then give the coaching entrance exams. They should not be giving entrance exams or prepping for coaching at 15, 16, 17 years old. So I thought that was a really interesting thing. And like you said, all these measures cannot be put in place just by the district administration. Even say med schools which are taking children, they should also give a gap here that children actually appear for the exam when they are a certain age. So that if you work backwards, they only start coaching once they finish school. So you can't take a child out of school and put him into the rigors of coaching and expect him to cope. Well, the committee is supposed to talk to all stakeholders, coaching institutes, people who have hostels, even the district administration, and come up with some kind of a plan. So the Chief Minister has not really given them some kind of an agenda. The main agenda is to take the stress off students so that the suicides don't happen. That's the main agenda. Now the committee is going to go to Kota in the next 2 days. So it's going to reach there in Kota and going to talk to all stakeholders. In the meantime, the Chief Minister had a VC. And it's very unfortunate that the coaching institutes in that video conference which the Chief Minister took said that student suicides are happening everywhere, but ours are getting reported. But that's not true. I mean, the numbers clearly, we have those graphics on air. The number of student suicides is much higher in Kota than it is anywhere else. Even Jaipur has coaching institutes, but you do not hear of this kind of extreme steps taken by students. So obviously there's some kind of a pressure cooker kind of system being created in Kota, which needs to be looked at very, very closely.